I'm going to be traveling horseback in sub-0 degree weather, while spending lots of time and attention to make sure my horses and I don't freeze on this 7,000 mile journey across America. Things have definitely gotten a lot colder in January. However, just like every other week on this trek, I'll meet up with incredible people and see more amazing places. I think this is the longest hair I've ever had. It's been about a year since I got my last haircut. Okay guys, so I haven't gotten much in the beginning of this week because I haven't been traveling, partially because of the insane rain we've had, but also today I was just full of news interviews and radio station calls, getting people information about the cause and the year of the Mustang project. So it's been a fun day, but a little bit different. And these guys are enjoying a good little break. Yeah, we are going to be getting off here first thing tomorrow. Well guys, today we are in Skiatook, Oklahoma. We had a stroke of good luck with the weather. And I got my friend Bill, my new friend Bill, taking the load ahead for me. And we are headed to Oologah today, camping some rodeo grounds. All right guys, we got a pretty busy, tight bridge going over Bird Creek, leaving Skiatook, Oklahoma. But I've got Officer Parker Yell helping me, so he's gonna ride behind me as I go over this bridge. So huge thanks to him and Skiatook Police. Okay guys, we're coming into the town of Collinsville, Oklahoma. A little over halfway through the day. There's the Caney River. The fun part about not having to take the load is we get to trot. Okay guys, we just rolled into the Mustang Roundup rodeo grounds here outside of Oologah, and we've got Diane Long here. She's telling me all sorts of cool stuff about this town that I didn't know, and I wanted her to share some of that with you guys.
Well, we welcome you here. Oologah is a town that has a lot of celebrities. Will Rogers was born here in 1879. The house where he lived, was born into, was a location that's now at the bottom of Oologah Lake. His house was relocated up to a different location, a higher location, and currently the Cherokee Nation has purchased that home and is in the process of renovating it.
Wow.
Will Rogers was born in 1879 and he passed away in a tragic airplane accident in 1935. Wiley Post was his pilot, and when he passed away, the whole nation went into mourning. Oologah also has another celebrity. Zach Bryan and his band is from Oologah, Oklahoma, and we welcome you here and hope you enjoy your visit.
Thank you so much. I've listened to a lot of Zach Bryan on this 1,000-mile journey to get here, so that's pretty cool. Oh man, thanks so much, Diane, for welcoming me into this beautiful town. All right guys, it is Thursday and I am in Oologah, Oklahoma, and we have a long day. We're going 28 miles, but we're getting lots of help. My new friend Kelly Ruddle came this morning to take the load for us, so she's taking it to her place. We're headed to Adair, Oklahoma. And we're going to be staying there tonight. And a huge thanks to Michelle and Brant last night for putting me up, and to Dwayne for getting the rodeo grounds unlocked for us. We stayed at the Oologah rodeo grounds last night. And yeah, also huge thanks to Bill Hoffman. He's been taking good care of me before that, driving the load and giving me a place to stay. So Lots of wonderful people here in Green Country, as they call it. And we're almost to the Ozarks. All right, guys, so the theme for December was trusting God. Why? Why do we need to trust in God? Why do we need to put our confidence in someone who we can't even see? And the answer is straightforward. He is omnipotent. And in our mortal view, we comprehend so little compared to what he comprehends. And the strength of a man's arm only goes so far. In preparation for this trip, I wanted God to command me to do this. I wanted him to say it was his will that I do this trip. I knelt down and I prayed again. And I asked if this was his will that I do this trip. And the answer that came surprised me. The answer that came was, it's your decision. I'm not going to command you to do it, but I will make it for your good if you do, as long as you put me first. And I also was told that I'd be protected. And it's taken me several months of being on the trip, and I'm just beginning to understand why it had to be my decision. There are so many amazing positive things that have come from this trip. And there's been lots of hard things too. And I realize now that if I had been commanded to do this and then went through all the hard things that I had, maybe I would have blamed God for those things. But I can't blame God. This was my decision. People whose lives this has touched and all the things that I've learned as a result, it was because I trusted in him. Trusting in God isn't about asking him to take away the storm, because he might not. Trusting in God is learning how to ask him for the strength to endure, because storms are always going to come. He is the only thing we can rely on. I would not have made it this far on this trip if I hadn't trusted in him. The theme for January is truth, but not truth necessarily in the same sense of honesty like I did in October. So I'm going to be working on that. Just wanted to share this little thought with you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Yeah, we are deep in the Cherokee Nation now. The Cherokee Nation is the largest tribe by population today. In the U.S., we've got, I believe they have over 400,000 members of their tribe still. Yeah. So guys, I'm here at the south end of this Oologah Lake, which literally stretches for about 20 miles north of here. It's a pretty big old lake. So I'm currently going across the Oologah Lake Dam. That's the road above us. And there's the start of the Verdigris River. Yep, the further east I go, the more challenging it becomes to find crossings across these big rivers. But luckily we found a way to go across this. The thing here in the south is it is marshy almost everywhere, especially in the flatland country. So there's no shortage of water for these guys to drink, but at the same time, when we're walking on the grass, it's like walking on a sponge all day. All right, guys, we're going down the road just past Foyle, Oklahoma here. I have my new friend Sean pull up on his little Mustang mare here to join. Gonna tag along for a little bit while we go. Well guys, I'll admit I definitely overdid it today, but thank goodness I got Mark driving drag for me with his flashers on. We are less than a mile out on this 28-mile day. Probably closer to 29 by the time we're done. Oh, I'm so glad I'm inside tonight. That is the rain right there. Okay guys, I am in Adair, Oklahoma, and we took a little rest today. I went and spoke at a school for a high school class and shared a little bit about the trip. But yeah, we're gonna get these guys their grain for tonight. It's gotten real cold here today, and it's about to get even colder. So we're keeping these guys nice and fed up on hay so that they can stay warm. We got below zero temperatures coming here Sunday and Monday and into next week. So trying to get to Arkansas as quick as we can so we're not in it for longer than we have to be. Back to where I started in my hometown of Heber City, Utah. I started there about 3.5 months ago, and I've traveled through 6 states, out of that 30 since then, and to Arkansas next. And this journey will make the longest continuous horse trek done within a year's time in the United States. And then the reason I'm doing this is to kind of show people the usefulness that Mustangs have as working horses in the horse world, trying to get more people to adopt them. So I think we just play this little video here so you guys can wrap your heads around what I'm doing. All right guys, it is Saturday, last day of the week. It is cold, it's about 15 degrees, and it's about to get a whole lot worse. Tomorrow it's gonna be 0 and under throughout the day, and same with Monday. And due to the crazy weather we've been having, cold and rain and whatnot, we've been a little slow. But yeah, we're still about a day and a half out from Arkansas, so it's gonna be next week. That's okay, we're still moving. Hopefully it doesn't get too much colder than this today. But either way, we got a short ride, just 12 more miles, 14 total. Well, there's the Grand River. It dumps into Hudson Lake, which is what we're about to cross here in a second. So we meet back up with the highway. Okay guys, we're gonna take this bridge over Grand Lake. Ooh, we got a lot of chunks of asphalt missing in this bridge. A lot of holes. It's pretty sketchy. Well guys, we got a cold one today. It is -3. Got some snow blowing in right now. But we got these guys on hay, keeping their bellies full so that they can keep up the fermentation process going in their large intestine, which generates a lot of body heat, which is one of the key factors in them maintaining their health throughout really cold weather here in the winter. So the more I can keep them eating, the better. On top of that, their hair is pretty effective. Their winter coats are all grown out and shaggy. And because of the air that gets trapped between those hairs, they're able to insulate pretty darn well, especially if they have a way to get out of the wind. And over here at the Millers, they have a barn that they can stand behind to act as a wind block. But yeah, this entire trough was a block of ice. Had to chop it all out and start over. That's another thing that's super important in the cold is hydration, because their tendency is to want to drink less due to the fact that it's not warm, which can cause digestive issues. So got to make sure that they have all the water they can. Well guys, the Millers here have these beautiful Dorper show sheep that they raise, and they've had a couple of lambs, and they even had some brand new ones just last night get born. What's some weather to be born into, huh mama? But yeah, they're here breeding these Dorper sheep. Sure they're glad to be out of that wind. Well guys, it is Sunday and I'm here with the Millers in String, Oklahoma. Huge thanks to them for letting us stay over today, especially in this cold weather. The snow did finally stop, but we got a little bit before it finally did. And yeah, been nice to get a good rest in, but we're back on the road tomorrow and it's gonna be pretty cold. But that's all right, we're gonna tough it out. We're just 2 days of ride out from Arkansas, so we'll be doing that. For a while now, I've been planning to stay with some longtime friends of mine, not new friends, old friends, the Sweats, out in Gravett, and we're gonna be resting the horses there for a little bit. For the last couple of weeks, I've watched Bella get a little bit slim in her weight. Not too bad, but she is starting to lose a little bit, and it's time we take a little while off to try and see if we can get her to gain some weight back before we hit the road again. And that's just gonna be how it is when you're doing a trip this long. It's been about 1,500 miles now since we've left, and it's time to get these guys a rest longer than just 2 days. So they've been doing fantastic, but I want them to continue to be doing fantastic. So we're gonna be taking that rest once we get there. And yep, we're always well taken care of in the feed department, but it's a lot of miles too. It can be hard on their bodies over time. So got to do the very best I can to look out for them. Especially this time of year, it takes a lot of energy to stay warm at night. But yep, anyways guys, hope that you enjoyed this video and hope to see you in the next one. Until then, adios.